Dinah Drake, Black Canary, Prime Earth. Dinah Drake Lance is the Black Canary, a vigilante with the distinctive sonic scream superpower known as the Canary Cry, which she uses to fight crime with the birds of prey and Green Arrow. New 52 Origin. Dinah was the daughter of a female martial artist and crime fighter and an unidentified man. At a very young age, Dinah's father was killed by the demon Ravanahatha, which targeted him as a result of his connection to Dinah's mother and her knowledge of a powerful martial arts technique, the Five Heavens Palm, which she had used to split the demon into two entities. Soon afterwards, her mother walked out on her for unknown reasons, leaving her to fend for herself. As a result, Dinah grew up as a street kid in Gotham City, until she was caught dumpster diving by Desmond Lamar, the owner of a local dojo. Taking pity on her, he allowed her to stay at the dojo in exchange for helping with the building's maintenance. This went on for years, and she grew to think of him like a father as he took her on as a student at his dojo. When he discovered that he had terminal cancer, he left the care of the dojo to Dinah in his will, and she took up instructing his classes. Unfortunately, he had been keeping the local gangs from muscling in on the dojo for protection money. Following the cosmic upheavals of the rebirth period, this character's history was revised. Current origin. Dinah Drake Lance was the daughter of the Golden Age Black Canary. Growing up, she trained in combat with family friend Ted Grant. At some point, her mother used a powerful martial arts technique known as the Five Heavens Palm to split the demon Ravanahatha in two after the demon targeted and killed Dinah's father. In the original New 52 continuity, Dinah's mother walked out on her under mysterious circumstances soon after this incident, resulting in Dinah becoming a homeless child living on the street. This does not seem to be the case in current continuity. As a young adult, she began living in the dojo of Desmond Lamar. When he discovered that he had terminal cancer, he left the care of the dojo to Dinah in his will, and she took up instructing his classes. Unfortunately, he had been keeping the local gangs from muscling in on the dojo for protection money. When the power outage that hit Gotham prior to Superstorm Renee's arrival left the city in the dark, Dinah had been away from the dojo and happened to encounter an injured man working for John Lynch. The man gave her a device before dying, and she soon found herself being chased by a gang of ninjas who sought to take it for themselves. She fought them off for a while, but was eventually overwhelmed. Fortunately, John Lynch and his men arrived in time to save her life. When he returned her to her dojo, she found it had been destroyed during the riots. Realizing she had nothing left, Lynch offered her the chance to join him on the Metahuman Fighting Squad Team 7, which she agreed to do for a while and met her future husband Kurt Lance. Drake worked for Team 7, being sent on a mission to find the Black Diamond that was corrupting the souls of those around it. After that mission, Dinah realized that John Lynch's plan for the team was to put them through the ringer and essentially give them powers, Dinah gaining the ability to create a deafening scream called the Canary Cry. Early career. Dinah would shortly thereafter marry her team member Kurt, but after a conflict on Gamora Island, she would come to believe he had been killed by her own hand. Afterward, she would leave the government's employ. Later, Dinah would debut as a new Black Canary, would eventually become a member of the Justice League. She would eventually become intimate with Oliver Queen. At some point, Oliver, Dinah, and Roy Harper made a trip to a haunted house in Star City. Roy had a blast, but Oliver kept his eyes closed the entire time. When Roy became addicted to drugs, Dinah helped him get clean. Dinah eventually became a member of Oracle's super team, the Birds of Prey. Dinah would also eventually work with Slade Wilson again, though not without reservations. At some point, Dinah trained the assassin known as Angel Breaker. New 52. Birds of Prey. Dinah was searching for remnants of the metahuman organization known as Basilisk when she encountered a lead that pointed to the Iceberg Lounge and so got a job as a bouncer in the employ of the Penguin. There, she met and befriended Starling when her investigation was compromised by Batgirl. The three women joined forces in catching the Basilisk agent. This experience led Dinah to feel the need to be on a team again, the three founding a new iteration of Birds of Prey. After also recruiting Katana and Poison Ivy to the team, the Birds of Prey investigated a criminal named Choke who was brainwashing civilians with a secret trigger word but failed to catch him. Things became rocky with the team, with the roster losing Katana and Ivy soon after and gaining a former Talon named Strix. At Batgirl's urging, Dinah allowed Strix to stay at her dojo while allowing Condor to become close to the team, though he was only intended to stay temporarily. After an ambush by Mr. Freeze, the Birds of Prey learned they had been betrayed by one of this iteration's founding members, Starling, sending the team into hiding to escape the conspiracy against them. While on the run, Dinah learned that her husband Kurt Lance was alive and being used to dampen her powers by Basilisk. She soon learned that Basilisk's leader, Regulus, was in fact Dean Higgins, a man she and Kurt had worked with in Team 7. He and Kaizen Gamora were merged into one by a combination of the Canary Cry that destroyed Gamora Island and the psychic energy there. Her power had been what inspired him to create Basilisk as a counter to superpowered beings. He intended to use Kurt's dampening ability to remove the entire world of superpowers and then gain control. Dinah insisted she would save Kurt no matter the cost and removed him from his bed. The result was that his amplification ability began to overload. It was only through Batgirl's intervention that Dinah was prevented from screaming down the whole compound. The most dangerous band in America. After a fire at Dinah's place, she briefly joined a local band called Ashes on Sunday in Burnside, before she found herself with an offer from a record producer asking for one album and a tour. She accepted, joining the band Alias Insane alongside original band members Paloma Terrific, Lord Byron, and the young Ditto as their singer and frontwoman. They then changed their name to Black Canary, as befitting their new lead singer. She replaced Bo Maeve, a theater student whom Byron and Paloma had formed a trio with. The original lineup shooting a video for their first single, however, Maeve was bought out and dropped from the contract, with Dinah taking her place. The band soon earned a reputation for being aggressive and causing several thousands of dollars of property damage. Despite attempting to keep the vigilantism to a minimum, Dinah and the band were soon assaulted by shadow figures who were after Ditto. Escaping the demons and finishing a killer show, the band returned to the road, now with Dinah training them for protection against these spectral beings. Later, when practicing and after an encounter with Maeve, who was stowing away, the band found themselves under attack from a masked man who was later revealed to be Kurt Lance, Dinah's husband. It would later be revealed that the band was being targeted by the musician Rave Death, later determined to be a demon known as Ravanahatha, a being which had previously been split in two by her mother, the previous Black Canary, using a martial arts technique known as the Five Heavens Palm. She eventually defeated Ravanahatha, tapping into the power of both her mother and versions of herself from across the multiverse. Powers and abilities. Powers. Canary Cry. Black Canary possesses a metagene that allows her to produce a powerful sonic attack capable of damaging, disorienting, and stunning anyone she uses it on. According to Dinah, her Canary Cry is powerful enough to be capable of shattering metals and shattering a person's skull if directly on them. Dinah is able to use her Canary Cry to glide across great distances by manipulating sound waves. She is also able to use her voice in a low frequency to extinguish fires. Sound immunity. Black Canary's eardrums have a thick membrane which makes her immune to the effects of her own powers as well as other loud noises. Abilities. Acrobatics. Archery. Dinah is a skilled enough archer to briefly impersonate her partner Green Arrow and can fire arrows with precision. Driving. Dinah drives her motorcycle with great skill. Espionage. Dinah is a skilled covert operative, having worked with Team 7 and later leading the Birds of Prey. Firearms. Although she prefers not to use guns, she is more than capable of using them. Investigation. Martial arts. Trained by combat specialists Desmond Lamar and Ted Grant, Black Canary is a highly skilled martial artist, with her combat skills being respected by the likes of Team 7's John Lynch, Amanda Waller, Barbara Gordon, and Batman. Boxing. Eskrima. Jeet Kune Do. Jiu-Jitsu. Karate. Krav Maga. Wing Chun. Wrestling. Multilingualism. Dinah can speak and understand Japanese and French. Music. Dinah plays and writes songs on the guitar. Singing. Dinah is a talented singer and enjoyed a successful stint as a rock singer with her band, Black Canary. Tactical analysis. Dinah is also considered a strong leader and strategic thinker. Paraphernalia. Equipment. Body armor, formerly. Transportation. Motorcycle. Weapons. Various martial art weapons.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.